Siren to start the first quarter. Centenary year for Western Australia. WA and South Australia, the first of the 1985 interstate clashes. Ball in the middle of the ground. Socked away by Renstead. Opportunity for him again. Renstead onto the left foot. Western Australia trying to work the ball forward. Number 15 is Dwayne Lamb. Long kick into the forward line. That's Clinton Browning.
Value of playing in front there from Browning. Well in front of his marksman. He'd only, what, 40 metres out?
Yes, 40 metres out, almost directly in front. A chance for Western Australia to register their first in the opening 30 seconds of play. Clinton Browning. He'll be nervous. The kick showed that he was, and one behind to WA.
Well, his first state game, Clinton Browning, been disappointed in the last couple of years. He's playing full forward. A perfect day here at Subiaco for football. Very little breeze, sunshine, a big crowd in attendance, and no excuse for getting beaten today. Peter Bubner, the fullback, to kick it into play. He'll come to the member stand flank, and there's a good kick. 60-metre kick from Bubner. Aisha's in there trying to get it out. The umpire having a good look, and will bounce down about 55 metres out. A lot of changes in the WA side. Nobody knows exactly who's playing at the moment because they ran 30 out in the ground before the game. Back it comes to centre to Bradley. Gets it over towards Platten. Oh, John Platten in the centre. Fogarty gets it out. There's a kick from Bradmore down towards half forward. The Smee Beckler. Into the pocket it goes. Oh, great bit of play there by the backs and out of play.
Side bottom, the Western Australian forward involved then, tried to stage for the kick, couldn't get it. Schneebichler was wearing him fairly closely, and it's in WA's left full forward pocket. Side bottom from behind. A chance off the ground, a snapshot from Watterson. It's the first goal for WA.
Well, Colin Watterson on his 1 foot there. He certainly put it through. He's been a pretty good player, John, for Watterson over a number of weeks, and got himself in position there, no trouble at all in putting it through. 1-1 to Western Australia. South Australia yet to score.
Well, South Australia really haven't had the ball in their forward line at all yet. It's been all Western Australia from the centre bounce downs.
Bounce down the centre. Harding's in there opposed to Redden. Harding with a little height advantage down here and gets it down. Centre of the ground, all players are in it. Platten taking plenty of punch, but he's not frightened to get in this rover. Another bounce down right next to the centre circle.
That's Bradmore in the middle of the ground there in a fairly unaccustomed role.
Yes, a lot of switches by coach John Todd. Oh. Must be a kick to Harding. And he's going to get a 15-metre penalty. There goes the vice-captain. Wrong-footed goes to his Browning again. He can't get it. Here comes Bubner. Oh, a poor old hand pass. It's gone astray. Fogarty throwing the body in. Side bottom there using the weight. And the ball's gone out of bounds.
Oh, that was a magnificent hit from Gary Sidebottom, and he's certainly going to let the South Australians know that he's out on the ground today. Western Australia 1-1. South Australia yet to score. Throw in. Sidebottom. Magnificent tap. Chance for Mitchell. He can't get there. This is Platten now for South Australia. Plenty of pace. Platten with the left foot up towards left centre wing. Murray Rance thumps the ball away from Kernahan, and it'll be thrown in just backward of South Australia's left wing. We are 3 3/4 minutes into the first quarter. Western Australia 7, South Australia none. Harding in front, but Kernahan over the back, but interfered with the Western Australian ruckman. So Paul Harding now with the left foot kick on right centre wing to half forward. Number 22 in front is Colin Watterson. He kicked WA's only goal so far. He's 65 metres out. Bombs it into the forward line. Sidebottom uses body well, but has given away a free kick.
Yes, right in the square. Bubner's going to take it.
Bubner to take the kick at fullback. Like the way this fella moved at training last night, Peter Bubner. He's a fine-looking athlete, and that's a magnificent kick out on the far side of the ground. Behind was Caton, but he went too early. And it looks like Anderson with the left foot to take the kick off left half-back flank.
Yes, Greg Anderson looking for Kernahan in the centre. Away goes Renstead. He's not kicking well. It's on the half-back line. South Australian playing well in defence. Warhurst gets it out further afield over to Lindsay. Lindsay comes right across the ground and taken by Motley. Peter Motley quickly goes on with the game. up towards a half-back flank. South Australia doing it well there. Comes up to half-forward. That's a good kick to Bradley. Bradley plays on quickly to Thomas. 45 metres out. Thomas straightens up. And there's a major on the board of the South Aussies.
That was a magnificent piece of play that time by 8 minutes into the first quarter. Harding, but this is McIntosh, tough player. Scrambles the ball towards left half forward. Brennan overran it for WA. Another chance for South Australia. 25 was Campbell. Got the hand pass away to Kernahan. An opportunity for Blight. He doesn't miss, but he has this time.
Yeah, a little bit quick, I think, onto the boot from Malcolm Blight. He put it straight onto the boot, or he had to, of course, and the ball's gone through for the minor score.
Western Australia's fullback, Gavin Carter, to bring the ball into play, and at the 6-minute mark, it's 1-1 apiece. Carter, a lovely, long 70-metre kick into play, and that'll be paid to Motley.
Well, he's playing half-back. He's taking this mark on the half-forward flank.
Wilson is marksman, Motley forward of right centre wing. Little short lead onto McIntosh, it's good. South Australia settling down now, Bob Miller. They're starting to get their act together. McIntosh, the hand pass to Motley. Motley inside 35 metres. The kick, he's pushed across the far side of the ground, and it's out on the right full back pocket for WA.
Well, Peter Motley come right from the half-back line. Kicking's a long one out towards the far flank. That's a good mark out there to Redden.
They're doing well in the air, South Australia, Bob.
Going to come back behind the mark. He does so. Kicks a long one towards full forward. Is it a mark? I think it is. Played out there to Rance. Playing centre half back, Murray Rance. To Langsford, the skipper. Gets onto his opposite foot. Motley again. Quickly plays on the Waish. Bradley's in there to give a hand, so it's Renstead. Renstead goes to ground. Recovered by Bradley to Thomas. Thomas over to Nailey. Nailey runs into an open goal. Great smother there. That last line of defence out of play.
Well, that was Wilkinson that effected that smother, and what a magnificent bit of play that was. Look, this was a certain goal for South Australia. Into an open goal he went, number 20 for South Australia, Nailey, and the smother was okay. But they're not out of trouble yet, because 25 is Campbell's shot. Looks okay. It is. And South Australia.
Perfect day for football. By Laurie Argent coming in, trying to get between a couple of players. Cousins is on the ball, opposed to Harding. And it comes to the centre. It's a good kick from Caton towards full forward. Looking for Browning. Browning in front, but he can't get it. Lindsay comes out with it. Bubner tried to come through. I think he threw it. He did. And Waterson once more is going to take the kick. Oh, on a 15-metre penalty, is it? No, it's a bubble on the left centre wing. There it is. Wilson shaping up to Motley.
Actually, Motley's played very well on Wilson. Wilson hasn't had a look at the ball yet, and he's a fairly volatile young guy, and wouldn't like that at all.
Just over the 50-metre mark from Colin Waterson. He's set it out towards a Subiaco end. Doesn't quite make it. Chance now for Wilson, tackled by Motley, holding the ball.
Far too slow, Peter Wilson, on that half-forward flank at the moment. Motley doing it well. To Aish. Aish was bumped, got it away. Warhurst, or Nailey it was, tried to get it on. Here comes Sidebottom. Brilliant hand pass to Mitchell. Mitchell from 55 metres out. Towards full forward. It's a 2-1 situation down there for South Australia. 23 Schnabikla playing well. And he smothered that attempted goal by WA. 1-1-7 Western Australia, 2-1-13 South Australia. 9.5 minutes into the first quarter. Hand pass gone astray. Here comes Nailey again. South Australia clear. Up towards the centre of the ground. Harding tripped, will take a kick. Finally gets the hand pass away. Number 6 is Renstead. Renstead goes out wide looking for a teammate. Mitchell gets rid of the ball, held but not in possession, and must take a kick.
Yes, Michael Mitchell showing plenty of pace around the forward line there. Got rid of the ball at the right time, and now from about the 50-metre line will have a shot.
Mitchell now, 50 metres out. Kick won't quite have the distance. It's into the square. And South Australia once again, this time through Cousins, dominating in the air.
Yeah, Richard Cummins to Aish. Aish is doing a lot of work in the back line. Kicks it out towards the far flank looking for Anderson, and the ball's gone out of play on the outer side, right half forward flank for South Australia. Western Australia, I should say. 10-minute mark, first quarter. Waterson doing the ruck work, opposed to Cousins. Down it comes to the ground, taken by Renstead. Over to Caton. Caton comes inboard, it's not a good kick. Bradley's there for South Australia, can't pick it up. Motley can. Warhurst trying to break his way through. Finally does so, kicks it back to Ace in the centre ground. He's all over the ground, this Magarey medalist.
The tagging's not working at the moment, Bob. The South Australians have got runners everywhere.
Whittleseed's got it. A long kick towards full forward. It's a good kick. Front position, but fought through. Front position of Redden, but fought through for the minor score.
Well, a couple of West Australians are in the team to tag, and South Australia at the moment have got a number of players ahead of the play as Carter brings the ball into WA. Half-back flank. Oh, what a leap! Looked on the far side by Lindsay. He didn't take the mark, however. Ball cleared up towards Mitchell, who's on right centre wing for WA. He's lost some meterage as he's gone back. Now gets the kick away. It's just over the wing. Western Australia trying to mount an attack, but South Australia equal to the task. This is Thomas emerging for South Australia. He goes towards left half forward. Kernahan, beautiful stuff.
Great pair of hands, this fellow.
Kernahan centres the ball, lights the target, he's in front. Knocked away in defence by Langsford, he could have marked. Now they set up the hand passing. 21 for them is Wilkinson, he's in trouble. Bit slow at the moment, WA. And luckily through Fogarty, they were going to get the kick, but they allowed the advantage rule to play. Side bottom taps it on, but there is no forwards for WA at the moment. Side bottom way through Snabigba, but Snabigba equal to the task. Look at side bottom fight. What a magnificent solo effort. He's called a play on, gets it to Watterson. Watterson threads it around the boundary line, but it's out on the full.
Well, Gary Sidebottom certainly throwing his weight in there, and good umpiring there, allowed the play to flow. All players knew what they were doing. The advantage rule was paid. And there's Colin Watterson, who's doing pretty well in that forward line at the moment. South Australia to take the kick in. Bubner. Member stand flank, and a packed member stand here today at Subiaco Oval. Cousins high in the air, can't get it. Bradley trying to bring it away. There's a chance for Renstead. Mitchell a chance. 25 metres out to Mitchell. Into the square goes to Silver. Goal coming up for Western Australia.
Well, that was a lovely bit of play by Western Australia on that chance at interstate level. Well done.
Thoroughly deserved it, John. And Sidebottom doing a lot of damage around that forward line because of his bulk and creating a couple of goals.
Wilson off, Cousins on, Motley doing well off his right half-back flank, and South Australia lead by 1 point at the 14-minute mark, first quarter. Harding, a lovely tap. Through come Western Australia, led by Bradmore, but he left the ball behind. 26 for South Australia was Anderson. Now they work it back into the centre of the ground. This is Bruce Lindsay with it. Lindsay towards right half forward. Kernahan, a lovely lead. Oh, Rance is far too slow. 15 metres against him as well.
Yes, he's getting away from Murray Rance, and he's taking the front spot. That's where he's getting his kicks.
Kernahan to the 25-metre line. Too far for nearly everybody. Punched away in defence. Here comes Langsford. Can't take the ball with him. McIntosh tries to barge his way through Renstead. He's a pretty tough customer. Renstead equal to the task, though. Some lovely hand pass. Sees the ball with Richardson. Well, Richardson sets Renstead up, but it's okay. Now it's Wayne Lamb. That's good play out of defence. And well topped off with a good kick to Brown.
Yes, he knew where to lead. Browning's got it, and a good kick for Lamb.
Browning going out wide to the lead of Sidebottom, and that's a lovely bit of play.
Sidebottom getting it away from his opponent, and he's got the height advantage and the weight, and he's using both extra well. He'd be about 45 metres out.
So WA trail by a behind. This is Gary Sidebottom from 45 metres. It's coming back a little. It's coming back. No, he's missed. Didn't come back in time, and so it's all tied up. 15.5 minutes into the first quarter.
Peter Bubner, good athlete this fellow. 100 metres, 220 hurdles. Great legs out there. He kicks it towards the flank. A little bit of interference going on out there. I think Warhurst's going to get the kick. No, he's going back further. It'll go to Motley. He's all over the ground, Peter Motley. McIntosh makes a short lead. Gary McIntosh drives it towards centre half forward. Kernahan from the back, shoves it out forward to the play is Anderson. Goes in towards Richardson, a good mark in defence.
And that was a desperation bit of football from WA then. Bounces unclined for Western Australia, but this lets in Craig Bradley. Bradley going around the boundary line, spreads out the forward. Oh, he's put it through. What a superb goal. Brilliant bit of play by Bradley, and a superb goal at Capital.
At Subiaco Oval in this interstate clash, and the umpire has seen another kick. Go to McIntosh. He's a tough customer, this fellow. Gary McIntosh right in the centre of the ground, looking for Anderson. Butley it is. Butley onto the left foot towards full forward, looking for Blight. And Malcolm Blight's got it. Went up between two West Australians to drag it down. Malcolm Blight, no more than 15 metres out. And the skipper, a great opportunity to put South Australia further at the mark. He's a great mark, this fellow, and a good kick. The leading goal kicker in South Australia. There he goes to the Subiaco end. I think he's missed. He has.
Unusual to see Malcolm Blight do that. That's the second shot at goal he's had. Admittedly, the first one was on the run, but it was well within his capabilities. And a set shot from 25 metres out, he should have converted. But a magnificent mark nevertheless. This is Carter. Aren't the fullbacks kicking in superbly as Carter rifles one away. Skorowski can't get the kick in. 18 for South Australia is Redden. This is now Platten to the 25-metre line. Light underneath that. Cousins goes up. Nailey waits for it to come down. Richardson tries to clear. Here comes Langston, the WA captain. He puts the ball into the centre of the ground. Mitchell tries to take it with him. Can't. Going back is Whittlesey. Dog it off the half-back line is Greg Whittlesey. A long kick into the forward line once more. Oh, Kernahan from behind, and Rance didn't know where he was.
That's his third mark, John.
Third mark for the quarter. Kernahan putting it up high. Cousins the target. Carter appealing for the mark. Cousins had his eye on the ball and got it.
Richard Cousins playing in his first interstate game, and a good tall player, this young fella. Great opportunity to score late.
South Australia 3-3-21. Now it's 4-3-27 to Western Australia's 2-2-14.
He lead at this stage to the South Aussies, kicking up towards the Subiaco end. If the breeze comes in at all, it'll go towards the other end, to which WA are kicking at the moment. 4-3-2-2. 20-minute mark coming up in the first. Umpire Johnson. Harding still on the ball. He's opposed to Redden. Redden gets the thump. Still in the centre of the ground. All players fighting for the umpire, letting it go. Warhurst has a thump, which is a good one. Picks up Anderson. Anderson goes in, looking for Cousins. Oh, well thumped away. Back up from Richardson. He can't get it. This is good play from Campbell to Nailey. Nailey goes inboard. Not a good kick, finds Murray Rance.
Rance playing at centre half back, a standing high kick. Renstead's available. That's him. Renstead wastes no time towards right half forward. Mitchell underneath that, and Whittlesey's taken up duty. South Australia playing well all over the ground at the moment. Whittlesey goes up further afield looking for McDermott and finds him. Number 10, Chris McDermott, left centre wing to the 50-metre line. Kernahan again from behind, and this time he's beaten Carter. And boy, is he having an effect on this game. Kernahan looking for Blight. Blight and Nailey got mixed up. Cousins a chance. Murray Rance tries to shovel it out towards Langsford, who soccers it off the ground towards the 50-metre line. Caton comes. He's caught, and well caught too. 12 is Brennan for WA. Langsford goes in. He's number 11. 30 is Gavin Carter. 19 for South Australia there is Rick Cousins.
Bad play by South Australia there. Two players going for the same ball. Cousins eye on the ball all the way. Can't get this one. Comes to centre of the ground. Anderson again. He's right-footed this time. Looking for Blight. Blight this time with a left foot. Full points.
They are absolutely tearing the heart out of the Western Australian defence at the moment, South. It's 5-3-33 to 2-2-14. South Australia in front at the 21.5-minute mark, first quarter. Harding gets that tap. No Rovers to capitalise. Bradmore kicks it forward. This is Watterson. The hand pass to 32, Cousins. Cousins a long kick to full forward. He's missed.
I'm just going to say, he's, after 15 years, his first goal in interstate football, but he didn't make it.
No. Bubner bringing the ball into play. Another immaculate kick. Watterson in front, Harding behind. And that looks like it could be a kick to Western Australia's Phil Bradmore. He's number 16. Bradmore looking for side bottom. Schnabikler with him. Diving mark, leaping mark, in fact, taken by Brennan.
Browning, I think.
Browning, thank you. Clint Browning.
He's playing well in the forward area, and if they can put the ball in front of him, he uses his spring, which he does in ordinary games here, and a good kick and a good mark.
That's his third mark for the quarter too, Bob.
Clint Browning with 3 marks from limited opportunities. Western Australia desperately need this one. Browning, I think, may have pushed it across the face, and really in interstate football you can't afford to miss those.
No, you certainly cannot. But Clinton Browning, well, getting a lot of marks down there. A little bit nervous, I suppose, an interstate debut. Still, so are a lot of other players. Bubner goes wide to Aish, makes the lead. All players are in it. Are there Fogarty trying to switch it out. The umpire calls for a bounce down on the 50-metre line out of side. Ruck's in there gathering. Redden gets it down. Browning again. And the players bogged down in that pocket at the moment.
Very slow, the Western Australians, when they're getting possession of the ball. They're not getting rid of it as quickly as they should be. And South Australia quick to capitalise.
Redden in there battling. Back it comes from Aish again. Up towards McDermott. Half flank. Once more, the ball has gone out of play.
Good defensive play by Don Langsford to knock that out. South Australia 5-3-33, leading Western Australia 2-4-16. And we are 24 minutes into the first quarter. Out comes Anderson with the ball. Across to Warhurst. Warhurst up again looking for Kernahan. Carter in front. Western Australia have switched centre-half back and full-back. Langsford pops it high. This is Renstead in the middle of the ground. Bradmore, can't mark. Motley wearing him like a second skin. Number 27 is Tom Warhurst for South Australia. Carter in the race for the ball. Bounces unkindly for Campbell. This allows WA through Langsford to clear. He goes up towards Bradmore, who made himself available just forward of right centre wing. They're not getting the ball on quick enough, WA. There's the hand pass to Harding. Back to Bradmore. Gain nothing from that. Bradmore, a long one to Watterson, who's well down from centre-half forward. Now Watterson finally does what somebody should have done a couple of minutes ago and popped it over to John Fogarty, who'd been there for yonks waiting for the ball. Now Clinton Browning emerges, but he's got a kick with the left foot, and there he's done it. Browning's missed 2 from getting across with the right foot and kicked that from nowhere with the left.
Well, that sometimes happens, of course, with a fellow down a little bit with his right foot, running in with his left foot. Clinton Browning, that'll give him a lot of confidence there, because he's not a good left foot kick, but he put that through from around 30 metres out. 5-3 to 3-4. Brings WA back into it. Into time on period, over the 25-minute mark. Harding still on the ball opposed to Redden. Redden's doing a good job on the ball. He's giving away height, but he's getting the taps down. Centre of the ground. Carter gets it out. It throws at the umpire. It'll go to Skipper Langsford. Don Langsford drives it down towards a half-forward flank. Now it comes to Lamb. Well, Lamb goes inboard again, looking for Mitchell. He can't get it. Whittlesee's right there with him. Browning trying to get it. Holding the ball, screen to Crown. Crown, as Cousins has another snapshot towards side bottom. He's in the pocket, snaps it onto the foot. What's happened? It's out of play.
I think maybe they're going to make a little bit better use of side bottom. He's playing extremely well in that forward line.
That's a kick.
And it's a kick for side bottom. Couldn't quite see what that was for.
Must have been held or something, John, because...
They may have pushed him after he'd gotten rid of the ball or whatever, but we couldn't see it because it was right down the far end of the ground. Anyway, side bottom from 25 metres out, right on the boundary line. Kick from Sidey. Out on the full. So now it'll be Schnabikler's turn to bring the ball back into play for South Australia. We're nearly 27 minutes into the first quarter. South Australia 5-3-33. Or it'll be Bubner. Bubner at will to take the kick. 5-3-33 South Australia, WA 3-4-22. Bubner from the left fullback pocket. Lovely long kick. Watterson in front, can't mark. This is Aish emerging for South Australia. Left foots the ball up towards the wing. Kernahan again. He is so strong, that man.
5th mark for the quarter.
He's taken 5 marks in 27 and a bit minutes of football. Not a bad performance.
No wonder he kicked 10 goals against Victoria. He gets his kick up towards the half-forward line. Anderson's there, so is Langsford. Oh, he goes inboard, which wasn't good play. It's a new player on there is Jarman. Quickly plays on to Campbell from 50 metres out. Matthew Campbell, a long kick from Campbell. I think it's offline and through for the minor score. Well, no doubt about the South Aussies, John. They're peppering those goals.
They certainly are, Bob.
Murray Rance to take the kick in. He's been switched, as we said before, with Carter to try and curb Kernahan. It's not coming off at the moment. Into the pocket it goes. And Paul Harding, the vice-captain, coming up. Nonchalantly goes onto the right foot. Bradley's in front, gets out of it well. Craig Bradley over the 50-metre line. Goes out further field to Campbell. To Blight. 25 metres out. The screw kick from Malcolm Blight. He has done it again. 4 points.
6th goal has resulted. 6-4-40 to 3-4-22. 29 minutes into the first quarter. Harding with the tap. Socket off the ground for WA. Renstead, hand pass to Mitchell. Mitchell from 50 metres out. Long kick to full forward. Won't come back. And it has now just crossed the line for a behind.
Well, that's one of the few times that WA have got the ball out of the centre, John. Mitchell a little bit unlucky, I'd say.
This is Bubner to bring it back into play.
Kicks well.
Kicks it Burley. Left half back. Bradmore waiting down 16. But Motley, having none of it, ensures that it's gone out South Australia's left half back flank. 40 plays 23. 29 and a half minutes in. This is Aish with the left foot once more. Works it up around towards the wing. Knocked away in defence. Platten now, again using the left foot effectively. Brings it inboard, but Carter is in the right position at the right time for WA.
Half-back flank, Evan Carter out of side. Goes to centre half forward. Not many leads coming at the moment. The big arms of Richard Cousins. Lyons is the umpire. He obliges and kicks it up towards Platten. Platten's still in there in the centre of the ground. So is Richardson. Players showing plenty there as it comes up towards half forward. Kernahan again all on his own. 45 metres out. Stephen Kernahan has missed. No, he hasn't. He has put it through for another.
30 minutes into a very long first quarter. 7-4-46 South Australia, 3-5-23 WA. As once again South Australia work the ball forward to their half-forward line. Knocked away in defence for WA by Wilkinson. Light working hard. Wilkinson in trouble. Being held when not in possession of the ball and will get a kick. Crowd complaining that WA not getting too many kicks, but I really can't see why. South Australia at the moment just far too good. As Caton emerges, gets a long inboard hand pass. It comes to Langsford, who slips over. Gives it away, however. There's the siren to end the first quarter as Skorowski got a kick a moment ago. South Australia, brilliant first quarter, 7-4-46 to 3-5-23.
Ready to start the second quarter at Subiaco Oval. South Australia 7-4, a good first quarter. Western Australia 3-5. Phil Scott is on the ground, but Redden gets the tap as he's done so on many occasions. Picked up by McDermott over to Aish, who's been a pretty good player all day. Right into the centre of the ground, Renstead's working hard. Lyons to the umpire. It's coming, yes. Phil Skorowski. Kicks up towards the centre half forward spot. Warhurst is there trying to battle too. John Platten to Lindsay. Trying to work it out. Mitchell. Picked up by Lindsay. Down towards half forward. McDermott coming in. Oh, scrambly old play here. Back in the centre square.
Looks like Brownie may well have been moved into defence because it was he who got the kick. And Caton took his eye off the ball before he had possession of it. Gets around Anderson, though, on that occasion. Fires in towards Mitchell. And Motley lets him know that he's going to earn every mark he gets. Mitchell goes in towards full forward. Lovely lead that time from Western Australia's half. And an equally fine pass from Mitchell.
Well, a couple of switches. Scott's on the ground, and Harding playing in the forward pocket, the vice captain, and works out well that he's at front spot. And he's only about 45 metres out.
And Harding didn't have to break stride then, and Schneewinkler had no chance in the wide world of getting that from him. So Harding from 35 metres out directly in front. A long kick. Crowd cheer. I don't know why, because he missed.
Well, a costly miss there right in front, picking up towards the Subiaco end. No breeze at all, no excuse there for Harding.
Bubner to bring the ball back into play. I know we've said it before, but gee, kicks the ball well. And there's a fine mark taken in defence for South Australia by Mike Redden. Redden off the right half-back flank. Motley's available. He must have a roving commission. He's all over the place. He was contesting a mark on the left half-back flank, and now he's taking a kick on right centre wing, and not a particularly good one at that.
No, he's kicked it out of play this time, young Michael Brennan. Brings in, playing his first state game, not looking where he's kicking. John Platten, men of energy, this fellow. Boots it back, looking for Blight. Wilkinson's there, and a good mark to Browning, who's now being switched to defence over to Rance. Oh, not a good hand pass to Rance there, fiddling a bit. Picked up once more by Aish. Towards full forward. Not much talking going there. Picked up by Bradmore. Back to the centre. A lot of mistakes here by both sides. Lindsay a chance. Back it goes to Warhurst on the half-forward flank. Wasn't a particularly good effort there. Redden picks it up over to Aish. Into the pocket to Bradley. Bradley goes inboard. Chance for McDermott. Steadies towards full forward. And the ball is forced through for minor score.
I don't think South Australia can believe their good fortune at the moment. The Western Australian side is putting them under absolutely no pressure at all, and you saw classic examples of it then. The South Australians able to do exactly what they like with the ball. But this is John Fogarty with it now, trying to get something going for WA in their centenary year. Up to right centre wing. He goes to half forward. Mitchell was the target. Whittlesee's with him. Mitchell gets away from him. Mitchell runs into the open space. Gets a hand pass to Watterson. WA desperately needed.
Great bit of play there for Mitchell. He was the instigator of that one. The ball looked a certain out of bounds, but Mitchell stuck to his guns. He saw Watterson coming past, and Colin Watterson's second goal. And that's the sort of play that WA won. Pure team football, that one, between 3 or 4 players bringing it up the ground, and 2 goals to Colin Watterson. 4-6 to 7-5. 4-minute mark coming up in the second quarter.
There's another look at it from a different angle. There's a nice hand pass from Michael Mitchell, and Watterson didn't let him down.
Back in the centre, WA trying to come forward again through Lamb. Towards full forward, thumped away from side bottom. Giving nothing away. Mark Nailey. Lindsay. Mitchell's in there again with Harding. Lindsay trying to battle his way through, and does so, very close to the line. Back it comes to Richardson. He's lost it. Picked up by Jarman. And Andrew Jarman gets South Australia out of trouble.
Jarman goes up towards the wing. The target that time was Kernahan, knocked away from him. However, it's come out to McDermott. Kernahan taps it heavily onto the backup of Bradley. Bradley chips it in, looking for Platten. Platten inside 50 metres and closing. Long kick from Platten has drifted across the face and gone out on the full.
By gee, they combined well, those two. Craig Bradley, John Platten. Platten, the McGarry medalist last year.
Rance bringing the ball into play to Fogarty. Fogarty gives the hand pass off to Langsford. Langsford goes up to Richardson, who makes amends for a bad miss a few moments earlier. Richard pops it up high. Watterson the target. Behind him was Warhurst. Here go WA. 32 for them is Cousins. He pops it in short, and good use of the ball. Sees it with Colin Watterson.
Yes, experience there from Brian Cousins after 15 years of league football, playing his third game, and a great opportunity for Watterson to bring up his third.
So Watterson now from 35 metres out. Left foot kick. Straightens up nicely. Crowd cheers. Western Australia are back in the game.
Yes, they certainly are, kicking towards the Subiaco end of the ground. As we said, very little breeze, and Watterson using all his ability up there. That left footer coming in, and he's certainly on target. That's 3, and he and side bottom doing a lot of damage. 16-minute mark of the first. Now it's 7:5:47 South Australia, 5:6:36 Western Australia.
And I'll look at it from a slightly different angle then.
Scott's on the ball opposed to Redden. Redden getting a lot of taps down there. He's a pretty good ruckman for his size. Off the ground by Richardson. Campbell a chance. Flicks it back behind him to Aish. Aish having trouble picking it up. Over on the far side of the ground. WA doing all the attacking at the moment, but unfortunately the ball has gone out of play.
We're 6.5 minutes into the second quarter, and it's 47 plays 36. Thrown to be contested by Redden and Phil Scott for Western Australia. Beautiful turn there by Jarman. Cross to Aish. Aish towards half forward, and Kernahan again. Quick hand pass off. That was to Campbell. Campbell out wide to Blight. Going a little bit wide at the moment, South Australia. Blight outside the 50-metre line. He's used his full measure, but look how he uses the left foot so effectively. Cousins underneath that. Langsford looks a bit slow, but good shepherding gets McDermott out of the road, and Dwayne Lamb takes it on left half-back flank. Gets the hand pass to Langsford, who backed up well. Langsford into the centre of the ground. Watterson again playing superbly. Fires the hand pass out to Richardson. Richardson goes in towards half forward. Good defensive play that time by Lindsay for South Australia. Mitchell and Motley. Bradmore very close to the line and realised that he wouldn't be able to kick that round the corner, so he just found touch.
Yes, under a little bit of pressure there, Phil Bradmore on the 25-metre line, and Watterson do a lot of damage in that forward line.
Yes, that was his 7th kick, and he's also had 4 marks.
Well played at the moment from the big fellow. 25-metre mark. Now it comes to the ground. And once more, Brian Cousins swung off the ball as he kicked.
Makes you wonder the way he's played, why it's been this long since he's had a game in state football.
Agree with that one. Redden gets the front spot. Gets it down well to Lindsay. To Redden. Warhurst. Towards the flank. Phil Scott.
Phil Scott forward of right centre wing for WA. It's a shocking old hand pass.
Oh.
Browning fell over. Now gets the hand pass to Scott. That had to happen. Scott gets it away this time to Caton. Caton turn to Renstead. Renstead to Bradmore. Good shepherding enables Bradmore to scramble a kick into the forward line. Sidebottom tries to tap it on, but the only one he found was Schneebichler. Schneebichler left foots it out of trouble. All the Western Australians went up. Caton emerged. Good play to Richardson. Richardson from 25 metres out has split the middle.
So a few changes made by both coaches at the moment as WA gradually bridging the gap. 6-6 to 7-5. Coming up to the 10-minute mark of the second. Scott still on the ball. Wayne Lamb. Skorowski. Lindsay in front. Oh, can't judge it. Over it goes to Cousins. That's Brian Cousins for WA. Williams Platten. Boundary line too close.
It's 47 to 42. 5 points in at the 10-minute mark, second quarter. It'll be Watterson versus Redden. Line ball, that one. Emerging with it is number 10, McDermott. He's going nowhere. Whistle is gone. Skorowski and Platten have a little to do. And it will be a kick to South Australia's Chris McDermott. Off the right half-back flank. Shocking old effort that was. And he wouldn't be at all happy with that.
No, he wouldn't. There seems to be a few mistakes by both sides in this quarter. Both want to get on top, paying the penalty.
Enormous amount of pressure on out there. This is Bill Skorowski for WA to half forward, and good shepherding enables Bruce Lindsay to float across for South Australia to take the mark. It was Warhurst who used his body well to get an opponent out of the road. Lindsay goes up towards Kernahan. There's 2 on him at the moment. Going back with it this time is Fogarty. He's caught. This is Scott. Scott to Langsford. Langsford into Browning. Browning out of trouble, in trouble, out of trouble. Out of trouble, in trouble.
Well, he was lucky he wasn't paid holding the ball there, because a couple of good tackles put on. He took too long to get rid of it.
Plenty of opportunity to get rid of the ball.
Yes, on the centre wing outer side. 47 to 42. McDermott's in there. So is Platten. He's in everything at the moment. can see the courage he won with the McGarry medal. He's going to get a kick. John Platten, right centre wing. Plenty of courage for a player that size.
Plenty of hair too.
Yes, that's what helps him out. Sampson had long hair. Down towards the wing. Chance for Fogarty. John Fogarty comes right across looking for Caton. Back up on the side there. Motley's in there too, so is Bradmar. Motley's in front. Comes out of it well, Peter Motley. Boots it down towards the forward area, the 25-metre line. A chance for the Southerlies. The skipper, Malcolm Blight, 30 metres out. Screws it around towards full forward. Doesn't miss too many and has not missed this one.
Well, Malcolm Blight, very similar to it. So it's 8-5-53 to 6-6-42. WA a chance to go into attack. Good defensive play by Warhurst, though. This is now McIntosh for South Australia. McIntosh's kick is up towards Keith Thomas. Too far for him. Brennan is 12. Gets the hand pass away to Lamb. Lamb in turn to Skorowski. That's Langsford now. Langsford a long kick, punched away in defence by Motley. Here comes Mitchell for WA. Long searching hand pass to Renstead's a beauty. Shepherding enables Renstead to close to within 55 metres. And I might say he normally doesn't miss those.
No, he wasn't steady when he kicked. Good shepherding there by young Kevin Caton.
Cousins is off for Western Australia and Peter Wilson back on.
Yes, plenty of changes made by both coaches there. And as I was saying, Kevin Caton, a good shepherd, allowed Renstead in, wasn't quite steady enough. And now the kick in to come from Snooper. The back pocket. Motley again. Picked up by Motley. Bradley, Motley by G. These two players are playing well on this one from Bradley. Towards full forward. Chance for Campbell. Can't pick it up. Back it comes to Nailey. Nailey left foots it. Light's calling for it. He's got it. He's all on his own.
There was not a Western Australian player within 20 metres of Thomas and Blight.
He'd gone backward to Thomas.
And there still wasn't when Thomas was waiting for Blight to kick the ball back to him. Bad play by WA in defence.
30 metres out, Keith Thomas. Utility player, can play many positions. Chance to score another major towards the Perth end of the ground or the eastern end here at Subiaco Oval. Keith Thomas's kick, the umpire having a good look. He's missed.
Well, Don Holmes is warming up to come on for Western Australia. And we're really writing players in as we go along because nobody knew what the heck was going on as far as the placings of the WA side were concerned, or in fact who was even going to play for them. So this is now Clinton Browning with the ball on the right half-back flank. Torpedo punt kick to the wing. Cousins in front for South Australia. Can't mark. Mitchell with courage to get the ball in. Forwarded on by Bradmore. Watterson in front. Must get a kick because Warhurst was in his back. Fires it out to Mitchell. Mitchell around McIntosh. The hand pass has gone astray. Opportunity for Wilson, who's just come back on. It's coming around, but not enough.
Well, Mitchell's the instigator in both of these attacks. As soon as it leaves the centre of the ground, it's Michael Mitchell who's burrowing in, shoveling the ball out. And once again, Wilson a little bit unlucky to be off target.
Peter Putnam to bring the ball back into play for South Australia. Another immaculate kick past the 50-metre line. Scott could have taken a mark then, but didn't. Bradmore appealing to the kick for Western Australia, but none forthcoming.
Well, Renstead going off. Bringing the changes here. Don Holmes coming in for his first run. He's another one we didn't know was playing or not. Out on the far flank. Flatten's in there. Lindsay gets it out, and once more the ball's gone out of play. 16-minute mark. 8-6 to 6-7. 54 to 43 in favour of South Aussie. And this quarter's certainly developed into a great battle. Cousins getting the ball down. Picked up by Motley again. All over the ground, this fellow. McIntosh. No fear from him. Boots it towards half forward. Kernahan from the back. Chance for Lamb. Back it comes to Skorowski up towards half forward. No mark picked up by Richard Cousins this time. Back to Motley once more.
Motley's kick towards half forward, knocked away from Kernahan, but they're dynamite on the ground are the South Australians at the moment. Campbell left foots it forward. This is Blight, quite some distance in front of his opponent, Brennan. Far too much experience for Michael Brennan, who's playing his first game interstate football. Western Australia's defence called on to do a lot of work at the moment as Brennan goes for it. Keeps it in play well. Mitchell goes back. Behind him is Whittlesey. Neither can mark. Anderson has it taken away from him. Whittlesey scrambles it forward. Mark Nayley gets underneath that and takes a good mark.
That was great play by South Australia under pressure.
Nayley now called to play on, number 20. Fires it in towards half forward. A chance for Platten. That's a good-looking kick from John Platten. That's a magnificent kick over the left shoulder, and South Australia have got their night. We're not sure, isn't, because he hasn't got a helmet on. Could well be Bairstow on the ground for WA. Who knows?
Well, John Todd working plenty of switches at the moment. McIntosh again in the centre. Playing well to Nayley. Just couldn't get it away. Scrambling the centre of the ground. The umpire letting it go. Still having a good look and a bounce down.
Good to see that too, the umpires letting play go. This is, after all, interstate football, and ticky-ticky touchwood kicks aren't getting paid. 60 plays 43. Western Australia desperately needing a goal as Lamb forwards the ball to left half forward. Watterson out in front of his marksman. Overruns the ball this time though. Bruce Lindsay goes through, is met solidly. Socket off the ground by Wilson, who's back on. And Wilson has managed to keep the ball still in play. The side bottom has it. He's caught this time by South Australia's Warhurst. And it'll be thrown in about 20 metres around from, or 30 metres around from WA's goal.
Well, perhaps Wilson will add a bit of life to that forward line.
Scott put over the top. Cousins cleverly knocked it away from goal. Wilson gets the hand pass away. Number 23 for WA was Harding. It's bounced over everybody's head. Here goes side bottom, knocking it away from goal. No backup for Sidey either. None at all. He was looking for it. And Bubner able to take possession of the ball to Whittlesey. Back to Bubner. Side bottom just can't get there. Those old legs won't do it for him. Brilliant play from South Australia to Anderson. Anderson to Blight, who's so far away from his marksman, it's a joke. Blight centres the ball. Underneath it for South Australia is number 18, Mike Redden.
Great play, South Australia, right from the back line to the forward line, and why side bottom couldn't catch Butler, of course, because Butler's an even time runner and did it well.
Don't know who would be able to catch him, and he takes off like that. That was brilliant play. But now Mike Redden directly in front, 30 metres out, has put it through for South Australia's 10th.
It's a good lead to the South Ollies at the moment. 20-minute mark of the second. Can WA come back? Richardson trying to get a kick out there, smothered every time they're trying to kick. Waterson's doing his here. Gets it to Mitchell, which is good play. 45 metres from Mitchell. Has missed.
Magnificent play from Colin Watterson then. He was going to take possession of the ball, saw Mitchell flash past, just tapped it on ahead of Mitchell, who was able to take it, but unfortunately for WA not convert. 44 plays 66, a 22-point lead to the visitors at the 21-minute mark of this quarter. This is Schnabikler taking the kick into play for South Australia. A lot of WA players falling over at the moment. They're ineffectually tapping the ball in the air. As Wilson fires it back in the forward line. Schnabikler was tripped, was he? No, they've allowed it to go through. And that cricket goal for Western Australia has resulted in a goal to Peter Wilson.
And a valuable goal at this stage because of the 21.5-minute mark.
Looked like that was Bairstow, actually. They're very difficult to pick up. 33 was Bairstow, and it was he who got the goal.
Yes, a great goal too it was. Bairstow hasn't been on the ground very long. First-year player. 10-6 to 7-8. Cousins back on the ball, and so is Harving. In the centre. Bradley trying to work his way through, which he does so to Nayley. 55 metres out from Nayley. Puts it down towards full forward. That's a good kick. Redden from the back. Can't get it. The ball will be thrown by, the South Australians transfer it very quickly from the centre line to that full forward spot.
Pacey team they are, the South Australians. They've got a nice balance of strength and pace all over the ground, and Western Australia struggling very much. 50 plays 66 as they work the ball out to the defensive 50-metre line, and Lamb fumbles. His opponent Bradley doesn't. Bradley closing. He's right on the boundary line. centres the ball, which is the intelligent thing to do. Knocked away in defence for WA by Browning.
As Browning's done quite well in defence, robbing Peter to pay Paul, of course, who's doing well on the forward line. They've had to put him the other end of the ground.
Throw in South Australia's right full forward pocket. Blight with clean possession, going nowhere with the ball. Opportunity for Nailey, that's him. Number 20 has the shot. What a magnificent bit of play it was too in South Australia.
Back in the centre. What can WA do? We're at the 23.5-minute mark. Keith Thomas trying to take it. Can't get it. Wilson has a swing, but it goes to Lindsay. He kicks us out and he's out of trouble.
And I think that was symptomatic of the sort of things that Western Australia are doing. They're not prepared to take possession of the ball like that man Campbell is. And look at the left foot pass to the leader, Blight. And Michael Brennan is having a horrendous day on Malcolm Blight, and they really have got to do something about him. Blight, I think all his birthdays have come at once.
Gee, certainly marshalling the forward line, Malcolm Blight. He's done it well. He's roamed all over that forward area, and they're having a lot of trouble.
This is Keith Thomas with the ball now for South Australia. They lead 11-6-72 to 7-8-50. Thomas has already kicked 1 goal.
Winstead ready to come on.
Keith Thomas now has 2, and South Australia have 12.
Well, they struck a purple patch, of course, South Australia at the moment, and they're getting the ball out of the centre, showing a lot of pace. They seem to be metres faster than the WA side at the moment. Winstead waiting to come on. Todd has certainly run the changes, but to no avail at the moment. Michael Brennan is the player coming off, swapping with his East Fremantle teammate, Murray Winstead. And just the 25-minute mark coming up. WA have only got a few minutes to do something in this quarter. 12-6 to 7-8. In favour of South Australia. McIntosh gives it over to Lindsay. Bruce Lindsay steadied up, give it that danger man, Platten. Half forward flank. Looking for long, Campbell. 50 metres out, Campbell. From the back. No, play on. Ranch was in front. Taken by Kernahan. What's he done with the left foot? His goal also. Great goal from the leader, Stephen Kernahan.
That is absolutely champagne stuff from Kernahan. The ball came off hands. He had a quick look and showed just how deadly his left foot can be, and that's his 2nd goal. And isn't that superb stuff?
Back in the centre. South Australia with a purple patch at the moment, doing extra well. Mitchell trying to rally the side. Boots it up to half forward, looking for Wilson. His metres in front at the moment, using pace. Half forward flank, Wilson brings it inboard. Oh, a good thump from Mott. He's playing all over the ground, that fellow. Brings into half forward. Back it goes to Snoobickler. Steadies to Bradley. Another good player for the South Aussies. Look at him, he's going away from Lamb. Steadies. Goes down to Aish. Michael Aish allowed to run in. 60, 50, 45. Can shoot from there. Looking for Cousins. Oh, couldn't quite make it, Richard Cousins. Recovers quickly, the umpire having a good look. Bounce down 25-metre line.
This isn't a very good display by the Western Australian defence. You can't believe the sort of latitude that the South Australian forwards are getting. They're running into their forward line almost at will as Rance clears. Not very intelligently. There's nobody at all there for Western Australia. That looked like Bradley bringing it back into the forward line. Fortunately for WA, the kick went astray as they bring it out of defence. Long kick again, looking for side bottom. With him is Bubner. He's very fast, Bubner, inside. He's going to have to stand his ground and take the marks. Here's Platten. Skorowski's supposed to be watching him and isn't within a bull's roar of him. As the ball goes up to half forward, chance for McIntosh. This, though, is Fogarty for WA. That was then Langsford, the hand pass received by, and Bubner in the right position takes another strong mark in defence. Decides to go short. Nobody near Thomas. He just chips it across the centre. And the mark taken on the far side of the ground by Motley, who's playing superbly for South Australia.
Had a lot of kicks, Peter Motley.
Just coming up for his 10th kick now.
And it wasn't a bad one either. It was straight onto the chest of Keith Thomas. Look, Kernahan, or is it Aish? One of them standing all by themselves. That's Kernahan. Aish was a little bit closer to the goals, and they could have popped it over to him had they wanted.
He's done a lot of damage in the forward line.
Oh, Kernahan's blitzed him. That's his 8th mark. He's coming up for his 7th kick and had 4 effective hand passes.
It's not bad. It's not a half time yet.
And kicked 2 goals as well. He's not very far away from making his 3rd goal. 48 metres out from goal. Long kick to full forward. Just offline.
Well, one of the few mistakes that Stephen Kernahan has made all day. He's dominated that position. And I don't know what player that West Australia can put on him at the moment. Rance goes right up the middle of the ground. That's the only way the black and golds can go at the moment. Richards is in there trying. Chance for Bairstow. The unfamiliar 33 jumper. Fiddling about from Anderson. Gee, they got the back up well. Anderson backs his own ball up. Gets it on the half-forward flank. Oh, and kicks it in. No trouble at all.
Yeah.
Chance for Campbell. 45 metres out from Matthew Campbell. Into the pocket. Cousins trying to mark, but the ball has gone out of play.
Well, again, what can you say about the way South Australia are playing? They've got fellas ahead of the play. They're prepared to share the ball around. They're prepared to pass accurately. They're not being put under any sort of pressure by WA when they go into their forward line. And the scoreboard reflects that as Bradley whips around, fires it into the 25-metre line. Campbell was up a little bit too early. Can Western Australia get something out of this? Aish gets it forward to Blight. Blight appealing for the kick. He'll get it. He was being held in by Greg Wilkinson. And Malcolm Blight has got many kicks in the forward line.
This is his 11th kick.
Well, you can see why he won a McGarry and a Brownlow medal.
Look at the way he used his body. Wasn't prepared to put hands on the ball. And Blight with 3 goals, 2 in the first quarter, 1 in the second. 25 metres out. I think has pushed that across. He has. Siren has gone to end a very good first half for South Australia. They lead 13-8-86 to Western Australia's 7-8-50.
Long hand pass comes out now from Motley, sending Platten away. Platten runs towards left half forward, still bouncing the ball. Bradmore in pursuit. Platten inside 50. Left foot's towards goal. Up goes Cousins, and Cousins takes the mark from 5 metres out. Marvellous stuff by South Australia to set it up around the outer side. Motley, the man who kept his cool, fed the hand pass inboard, then Platten ran, and now Cousins from virtually point-blank range. Kicks the goal that WA really needed. That had to be WA's to start this term, Spud. 14-8 to 7-8.
Yes, and I thought there was some very good play out of the pack by Redden. The other big ruckman, Cousins, kicked the goal, but Redden from that high boundary area, in the boundary area near the scoreboard, he was the one that tapped it down to Platten, and then we saw Platten catch me if you can, and he obviously enjoyed that run down that outer flank and intelligently centred the ball in, and we saw the big tall Cousins run in, take a good mark, and South Australia now trying to assert their complete superiority over West Australia in this game.
Bad week for birthdays. Leadable Oval last Saturday, and so far WA is being a bit of a fizzer out here, although Harding has other ideas and boots it out wide looking for Langsford. Motley leads in the race, though backs himself against the ball. Unkind bounce, a chance for Langsford in turn. Langsford boots down towards the pocket, didn't look again, and Whittlesey just drops back to take the mark. Whittlesey playing a good game, chips it in short. Either one of 2 can mark. Thomas it is. Thomas breaks away from half-back for South Australia, boots towards the outer side looking for Aish. Richardson in close attendance. Behind, a chance now for Browning. Picks it up, twisting and turning Browning. Forced to come back on his left foot, not a good kick. Comes across towards Bairstow. Bairstow worried out of it. Now a chance for South Australia. Jarman trying to send them forward. Well played, Jarman. Gets it to Redden. Redden feeds it to Anderson. Anderson will go looking for Aish with a high kick down towards the pocket. Aish, too canny, gets to the front, couldn't take the mark. Now it's with Blight. Blight hooks it back. Chance for Cousins in front. Fisting away Rance. Rance goes back after the ball. He's claiming a mark. That's ambitious. Boots it out. Now Platten's got the pace, but the boundary line is too near, and the ball spills across that boundary line for a throw-in. Right half forward for South Australia.
Yes, they're looking good. They've got their confidence up now. And Jarman playing very well to get that out of the centre.
Kernahan under the ball, knocks it wide. Nailey in the back will take a free kick. And Nailey started slowly, and now Thomas getting involved there with Fogarty. Thomas wants to be careful, otherwise South Australia will give up the ball. And I think that Western Australia obviously have come out with the idea of perhaps having one of these. But Nayley should have the ball for South Australia, and Thomas, I hope for their sake, hasn't given it up. 15 metres, in fact, against Fogarty. But John Fogarty, a seasoned campaigner, trying to shake Western Australia out of their apathy. Bradley goes short to Platten. Oh dear. Now Platten, it just hasn't worked, the tag on Platten.
A lot different tagging in a state game to a club game, and you're in amongst a lot of very, very good footballers, and even though tagged, Platten has been a very good player, as in fact has Nayley and the other running player Thomas.
Let's see what Platten can do from about 25 metres. Normally very reliable. That looks pretty good. He's put it through. Another one to John Platten. I must say I do watch a lot of South Australian football during the week on replays, Bud, and I think John Platten would see this afternoon as probably a pretty light-hearted affair in terms of what he's received. I think his reputation probably in South Australia is such that he really is subjected to a hammering. And this afternoon there hasn't been a lot of physical stuff on him, has there?
No, and they haven't been able to get in the right position at the right time, and he gets used to being tagged, and he's obviously learnt to play under tag and retains his ability to break away when it's his chance.
Out to 48 points now, the lead for South Australia. Hopefully not a drubbing coming up for Western Australia. Let's see what Mitchell can do as he boots it out wide. Cousins leads in the race out there. Coming to assist the man up from full forward is Scott. He's dragged off it. Back it comes to Cousins. Hooks across the face. A chance for side bottom. Over the back it comes. Western Australia through Renstead goal. Can that be the spur? Western Australia's 8th. They're 8-8. And South Australia a 15-8.
Yes, well, a nice piece of work there by Cousins, and it was a pretty good kick that from Cousins. He was right on the boundary line and being pressured, and he was able to screw the ball right back into the middle of the ground. And we saw the side bottom contest strongly, and Renstead moving right down from the middle of the ground, able to take it off hands, kick an easy goal. But Renstead now playing on a half-forward flank, and they need 3 or 4 more of them in a hurry.
Bounce back in the centre from umpire Johnson. Redden opposed to Harding. It's won by Redden. Chance now for Jarman. Penalised for holding the ball. Ducked his head. Interesting. Harding's got it. That's the way they play it in South Australia, of course, not here in Western Australia. Renstead's in front. Well played, Renstead. Thinks about a hand pass. Now will feed the ball. Gets it across to Bairstow. Bairstow kicked a goal with his first kick in interstate football. Goes long on goal. Looks good. Puts it through. Western Australia 9-8. South Australia 15-8. So South Australia the first 2 goals and WA responding.
That's quite interesting, you know, because I thought that to add to WA's woes, South Australia have won all the hit-outs in the middle in this quarter. And that appeared to be creating an enormous problem. But in fact, 3-1, thanks Paul Mount. So WA have won a knockout of the middle. But it was interesting that WA were able to get the ball away by the assistance of a free kick. And Renstead again playing very well to set that up.
36 points the difference, as it was at half-time. We've played about 7.5 minutes of the term. Harding is up. Hits it straight towards Anderson. Anderson feeds it back towards Motley. That was bad. The hand pass was sloppy. As a result, Western Australia with a chance. This is Mitchell. Mitchell at right half forward. Goes down towards half forward. Great kick. Langsford sees side bottom. He ignores that. Goes for distance down towards full forward. Schneebichler's in front. Scott gets into his back. Ball spills free. Lindsay's got it, but the free kick will go to Schneebichler. Well, Scotty got up very high, but interfered. And so the South Adelaide veteran will take the free kick. John Schneebichler comes along the grandstand side with a high kick. It's intended for Redden. Harding reduced to a spoiling role there. Redden tries to get it out to Platten. It was well read by a West Australian Wilson. Wilson is well tackled by Redden. Back comes Platten. Brilliant play by the little fellow. Gets it out towards Bradley. Bradley goes to ground. Picked up by Renstead. Renstead chips it in short and finds Mitchell.
A nice bit of shepherding and heavy work by Fogarty to set all that up for Western Australia.
Mitchell sees Wilson out wide. That's the direction the kick takes. Side bottom comes to meet him. They collide. Dear, oh dear. Bradley goes through. Steps on the boundary line. Keeps his composure, though. Or does he? No, he doesn't. He kicks it straight to Mitchell. Mitchell to Harding. Blanketed there by Whittlesey, or Whittlesey, rather. At 6. What threw me? This is Mitchell. Mitchell goes long towards goal. What's he done? He's put it through for Western Australia. Fine kick by Mitchell, who is something of a live wire in this term. They need that.
Well, he's missed, I think 2 or 3 on the run, similar type shots. Didn't miss that one, and another very good goal by Western Australia. But Wilson is limping, and Sidebottom looked absolutely disgusted after running into Wilson when the pass was good. And Wilson now limping on a wing, and Todd will have to watch him.
Play to restart. 98 to 68. WA did this in the second term. They started it well, and then South Australia settled. WA moved it again forward. Well played by Waterson as he got the ball from his knees, paddled it across to an attacking player, but the kick found this man, Whittlesey, who drives around the outer side. Good kick finds Cousins. Cousins feeds the hand pass. Down goes the South Australian. Kick comes around the outer side. Kernahan was up, not to mark. Socket off the ground by Thomas. Bradmore leads back in the race. Good hand pass across to support there from Bairstow. He's in real trouble, is Bairstow, but taken high.
He's been impressive, hasn't he, Bairstow? Hasn't been on the ground a lot, but what he's done has been pretty good. 2 goals.
Bairstow comes across the ground. Redden's in front. Rance knocks it away. Western Australia with a chance. Rance in real trouble, though. Goes to ground, holding the ball. They didn't get a lot of time, but it was a bad error initially. Kick will be taken here by Thomas.
This is where West Australia get into trouble.
Thomas long down towards full forward. Yards in the clear is Aish. Well, Richardson was so conscious of Aish. I think he was looking around to find him, and Aish just drifting in front of him.
As soon as that ball gets over that half-forward line or over the centre line, then West Australia really looked to be in trouble, and one sensed that was going to happen, and it did. And I don't think Aish will miss.
There's his kick. Well, I think he has. That's most unusual.
I love it.
He's a man of great skill, but he was always going to miss that one, wasn't he?
Yes, in fact, he ran. He kicked the ball exactly the direction he was running at.
Bad interchange. As a result, a man gets free on the outer side. That's Fogarty. And the man who was trying to get across and mark him was McDermott, who just came onto the ground. McDermott is still running to the outer side. Dwayne Lamb, rather, has got the ball out there. Dwayne Lamb kicking towards half forward. Western Australia through Waterson, can't take the mark, gathered by Langsford. Langsford hooks it back towards the forward pocket. Side bottom is up. Bubner is up there with him. Schneebichler with a chance, trying to crash his way through, is tripped and will take the free kick.
Well, WA having their chances, and they had the run of the ball again, and free kick helping South Australia.
Schneebichler goes out wide. Motley gives it across to Aish. Or is it Bubner out there? Bubner, who runs hard and boots towards half forward. Kernahan. No. In fact, he didn't contest. A strong mark is taken by Bradmore to Richardson. It was intended for Kernahan. Richardson comes across the ground. It needs to take a kind bounce, and it doesn't. Bradley does the best thing. He thumps it forward, but Western Australia there through Wilkinson. Comes across now. Western Australia with a chance as Rance goes hand passing, looking for Wilson. Wilson goes over the top in turn to Langsford. Long one infield. Now there's a chance. Breaking away is Cousins. Cousins goes through the centre square. Long kick down towards Mitchell. Going back there.
Good mark,
mark by Mitchell.
He was always going to grab that. We'll have another look at that in a minute. That's a sensational mark. There he is behind. Mitchell behind. Up and over. What a good pair of hands for little man. He has already taken the mark of the year. And that sensational performance. And Mitchell badly needing to kick this goal.
Michael Mitchell. 30 metres out. What's he done with it? I think he's put it through. He has. So that's his second. He's having a fine term. And Western Australia draw closer. Western Australia 11-8, South Australia 15-9, but the breeze is favouring the city end now. That's the end at which WA are kicking.
Yes, I don't think it's a significant factor though, Dennis. It's still slightly across the ground. I look at the windsock, and that looks different to the flags on the scoreboard, so we really don't know what's going down at ground level. But West Australia now are winning their share of hard balls and taking the odd good mark around the ground that they weren't doing earlier on.
Back in the centre, Cousins and Harding. It's won by the South Australian towards half forward. Down goes McDermott. Socket off the ground by Richardson towards half forward. Waterson's got it. Claimed from behind. Appeared to throw it out. A chance for Cousins. Left without the ball. Gathered now by Western Australia. Hand passed forward only as far as Motley. Langsford dives on top of it. South Australia's Lindsay wins the ball low. Gives it out to Aish. Aish can go to Bradley. Now South Australia can establish something around this wing. Away goes Bradley. Richardson in pursuit. That's a brilliant kick into the path of Kernahan. No too much carry. And Kernahan was tripped by Browning. That was a harsh decision because Browning had eyes only for the ball then. Both the big fellows moving quite quickly. And Browning is penalised inside 50 metres.
Let's have another look at it. There's the trip. Certainly going for the ball, Browning, but the trip was there, and once it's a trip whether you're intentional or not.
Kernahan, 50 metres out, goes long. That is a massive kick by Kernahan. What's he done with it? Just missing to the far side or behind. South Australia 15-10 and Western Australia 11-8. Rance comes in short. That's been a legacy they've had all day. A loose man, but Fogarty gets an unkind bounce, and Aish content to run the ball towards the boundary line. 100 to 74. So they've made up 10 points since half-time, Western Australia, but they've looked better in doing that. Harding opposed to Redden. It's one forward taken by Aish. The high kick goes down towards full forward. In front is Rance. South Australia give a contest though. The ball running free, gathered by Campbell. Campbell across towards Platten. Brilliantly done, Platten. Platten on the boundary, kicks across the face of goal, and Kernahan juggles the mark, comes around on the left side and pops it through for a goal. Well, John Platten take a bow. That was superb. He hooked it back across the face and Kernahan finished it off.
Yes, there's no doubt that the tag is not working, and what a hard man to play on Kernahan. Now, Browning was right on his hammer then, had the front position, had everything under control, but we saw Kernahan move quickly, take the good mark, and seeing Browning was off guard, was able to slip it through for a goal. And it's a very important one for South Australia because West Australia were closing on them and gaining in confidence.
Back in the centre, so the margin, despite the efforts of Western Australia, back to much as it was at half-time. Trying to force it out now, Western Australia with the chance. A scramble kick from Fogarty comes towards Langsford. Putting his body in brilliantly down there was Warhurst. McIntosh back to Lindsay. Lindsay comes out wide. That's a superb kick. And Michael Aish just drifting back takes the mark. Platten is moving, as is this man Whittlesey. Whittlesey's got it. Platten is on for the hand pass. Whittlesey goes long down towards full forward. Rance is in front. He takes the mark. Plays on quickly to Rance. Goes to the wrong side initially, now comes back grandstand side. Wilson there. Whittlesey committed himself well. Now it's with Aish. Aish chips it in short and finds Nailey. And Nailey is only about 35 metres out from goal, but the angle is quite acute. So if he kicks this, in fact, they've extended their lead since half-time. Mark Nailey. The South Australians have found this part of the ground the most difficult to kick goals from. Generally, they've been missing to the left-hand side. There goes the Nailey kick. And again, I think they've done that. Not by much. They're getting the hang of it. Western Australia bring it away. Rance, the first attempt didn't pay off. Gets a second chance. Kicks towards the outer side. The big fellow Cousins will have to work out there as Renstead leads back in the race. Renstead simply too much. But what's happened back here? The goal umpire's out on the ground. Something has transpired. Now, the game has been stopped. In fact, it's a point.
A behind, I should say.
A behind. Well, the behind initially, it becomes a point.
The big difference between the two sides, Dennis, has been the disposal of the South Australians. And the longer the game goes, the more you realise how very well they're using the football.
Well, let's see. Let's see if WA can get a free man here, Keith.
Well, they've been doing it all day. Now,
there could be no excuse now, could there?
Well, they're all congregating in the middle there, Western Australia.
Browning decides he'll play on instead. Kicks around the outer side. Mitchell from behind. Up he goes. One forward, though, by South Australia's Nailey. Brilliantly. Gives it to McIntosh. The feed comes across towards Cousins. Big fellow has time to prop. Kick down towards full forward. Kernahan, here's trouble. He was held. Kernahan will take the free kick in the left full forward pocket. And WA becoming a little niggly with Kernahan, but it's not really the way to do it.
They don't really have any answers, do they? He's a complete footballer. Not only is he a very tall man and with great skills, but he moves so quickly. And when I say quickly, it's not over 50 metres. Those first 3 or 4 steps quite often finds him that far in front.
Well, Gary McIntosh just got so free there, but Kernahan ignored it and kicked another goal. And I really think that is symptomatic of WA's football. McIntosh was able to run down the ground. Paul Mountain shaking his head. Never got free from him. 17-11 to 11-8.
And Kernahan kicks his 4th goal and has been a thorn in the side of WA all day. And of course what's happened now is that the South Australians realise that he's in trouble. If the lead is not on, the pinpoint kick is not on, they just look to see where he is, put it in the air, and that really does spell trouble for Western Australia.
Cousins opposed to Harding. Cousins, who's done pretty well this afternoon, ferrets it back, taken by McDermott. McDermott boots towards half forward. It really is a procession now by South Australia. Kernahan puts Campbell on his right side. That is his left side, if you'll pardon the Irish. He kicks down towards the forward pocket, off hands, and through it goes, I think, for a behind. No, it's out of bounds. And we'll have a throw-in down there. Bounced out of bounds. 17-11 to 11-8.
Well, I'm just wondering whether Todd is considering Waterson down there. He's got on top of 3 opponents today, has Kernahan.
Well, the man that had best success was obviously Carter on Kernahan.
Right.
And he was taken from the ground, and Rance was left out there. Chance now for Platten in the goal square. Tries to kick it out of mid-air, and the ball spills through for a behind.
Good work by Mitchell.
Yes, he showed a lot of desperation, Michael Mitchell. John Platten, who comes from the area out of Adelaide, Elizabeth, the home of Central District. Very strong English influence up there, and they would have been proud of that effort to soccer it through. There goes the kick towards the outer side. Cousins content to knock away from Harding. And certainly Cousins making a name for himself this afternoon. The #1 ruckman for South Australia, Johnston, dislocated his shoulder last weekend. Cousins coming into the side. He's done very well as Kernahan goes up to win it down. Leading in the race out there, Anderson. A chance for Western Australia. Renstead does very well around the boundary. Well played, Murray Renstead. Back to the skipper, Langsford. High kick towards half forward. Bounces in no man's land. Cousins left without it. In goes his namesake. Eventually, South Australia leg a man out there, Bairstow. He'll get the free kick.
And 15 metres.
Mark Bairstow, who's been impressive this afternoon. He's kicked 2 goals, came on as an interchange player, kicks across the ground, looking for side bottom, who misses the mark. A chance for Cousins behind. Well tackled. Brilliant tackle. He breaks free of it, though, so he wasn't held sufficiently by McDermott, and he kicks a goal. Well, if Brian Cousins will allow me the luxury, he was slightly retarded.
Well, slightly, and that's the way the umpire saw it. And in fact, eventually he was held around the leg, so I suppose that squared it up a little. But there's no doubt that he was very desperate to kick a goal there, and he must have felt the tackle wasn't a severe one on him, Dennis, and always felt that he could break away. In fact, he did, and it was a good left foot goal. So WA hang in there.
Just over 20 minutes played. The lead now is 34 points. It was 36 points at half-time. One down by Harding decisively. Took an unkind bounce for Cousins, but Langsford is backing up. Tracks the ball out towards right centre wing does Langsford. Long kick into the forward line, but Motley's on the end of it. And the kicking into the forward line in this term has been disappointing from Western Australia. Motley, the high kick towards the outer side. It's a touch ball. Redden goes up, takes it, plays on quickly, gets it across to McDermott. McDermott hand passes across to Anderson. Anderson around the boundary, unloaded again. He's out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in.
Yes, I think the disappointing part, Dennis, was when West Australia were coming forward there, Langsford, you know, side bottom can't lead one time and not lead the next. I mean, if he's the leading player, then he's got to be that, because Scott's the only other man there, then he's got to be coming out every time and creating opportunities.
One forward by Western Australia, but taken by McIntosh. McIntosh elects to kick from centre wing and goes long down towards the pocket. Kernahan up in front, couldn't take the mark. He's going to get a free kick. And Kernahan is punched.
Definitely time to get Waterson down there. He's now got on top of his third opponent.
Goes short down towards the pocket. Knocked away down there. No, free kick to South Australia's Bradley, and I thought that was very fortuitous. And Wilson certainly is not happy.
Well, I thought the umpire was a bit tough there.
And Wilson,
let's have another look at it. Here it is again.
No, the umpire was right. Hand on the shoulder.
Dead right. The hand was on the shoulder, and Wilson has got nothing to complain about.
Good decision by umpire Argent.
Certainly.
Mind you, Peter Wilson still had plenty to say about it.
Might be able to talk to his coach very shortly.
There's Craig Bradley. Kick on goal looks good. Another one for South Australia. So Bradley gets his second, and it's 18-12 to 12-8.
Yes, and this is taking the same pattern as almost the second quarter, when WA came out of the blocks and started brilliantly, and then South Australia wore them down, and that's what's happened in this quarter. Of course, West Australia made up a couple of goals on South Australia. Had they gone on with the job, then they were in with a chance, but South Australia have steadied and answered the challenge, and are now back in a very commanding position.
Scott opposed to Redden, won by Scott. Chance for Western Australia. Cousins through the pack. It's a hand pass across to Caton. He finds Bairstow. Bairstow over the top. Waterson with a chance now to Renstead. Can go again, though he elects to kick. Not a bad sort of an effort, Murray Renstead. What's he done with it? It's behind. WA desperately needing a goal there. They got the chain going, but the finish not quite what it needed.
In fact, they've missed, I would think, during the day, 5 or 6 shots where they've been running into an open goal.
Interesting to note the centre square takeaways. WA bringing it away just about all the time. Good mark to Redden. Redden feeds Lindsay. Lindsay comes out wide to accommodate Bradley. Liked his game today. This is the best I've seen him play. Bradley cuts infield. Kicks towards centre half forward. I wonder who he's looking for. Kernahan fisted away that time by Browning. Chance for Caton. Well done, Caton. Goes out wide. Run from half back Dwayne Lamb. Lamb in real trouble is slung off the kick. It comes, though, obligingly for Fogarty. Fogarty hand passes out looking for Renstead. Lindsay with brilliance. Well done, Lindsay. Bruce Lindsay from half back. Uses the ball to Bradley. Bradley marks. Was thinking about going. In fact, I think he took a couple of paces that way. Just lost his sense of direction for a moment.
Well, he wanted 15 metres, and technically he should have got 15 metres because Browning arrived very late and put him down. But there was a bit of doubt as to whether he was off or not. There he goes. He certainly made a couple of metres towards the goal. And so I think the umpire did the right thing. But that was beautifully played by Lindsay coming through from that back pocket.
Sheffield Shield cricketer at one stage. I think he was just backing up, Spud. There goes his kick. Looks pretty good too. I think he's put it through. In fact, it's a South Australian mark to Blight if in fact it hasn't gone through for a goal. That was a spectacular mark by Malcolm Blight.
Well, I couldn't find anyone in that pack. It's a long way from where we are. And there was certainly a lot of black and gold and a lot of the blue, gold and white. And the veteran, let's have another look at it. There's a big pack of players in this. And coming from behind, the kicks a goal.
4 now to Malcolm Blight. And South Australia stretched their lead. They're 19-12 to Western Australia's 12-9. I would say that the birthday celebration is about to turn into a wake.
Yes, it's hard to see Western Australia getting back into the game. They've taken the ball away from the centre, and they had to do that to kick quick goals. But even though they've taken it away, they really haven't had the personnel down at full forward. They've had side bottom, and for the greater part of the quarter, Scott's been down there. 2 fairly slow players, and of course side bottom always needs players moving around him. The smaller type of player that can cash in on his hit over the top and palming the ball down, and it hasn't been down there. And so if West Australia have been forced to blaze away, and they've missed the blazers.
Back in the centre, Redden wins it down. Chance for Platten to bring it away. Caton comes in with the ball though. Spills to Richardson. He's going nowhere as Platten applies a very strong tackle. McIntosh breaks away. Inside 50, McIntosh. Another goal coming up for South Australia as McIntosh fires it truly. So South Australia 20-12, Western Australia 12-9.
Well, and Western Australia are going to pay the penalty for all mistakes now. And we saw them take possession there through Richardson, put under pressure. He got an indifferent handball away, and it was McIntosh following through from the centre of the ground, and he helped himself to a goal. And I don't think there's any chance in the wide world that there'll be any easing up by South Australia.
Stop it, stop it. I think that's far enough. It doesn't get any better after that.
Your highlights we're going to show you, but here is John Todd at quarter time, and three-quarter time I should say, and looks like it was Kevin Caton there. Toddy, you were getting a little bit upset, or what was the reason behind that at three-quarter time?
No, not really. Kevin Caton will be a real good player. There's no risk about that, but he's got to learn to do as he's told. He's got an excellent kick, and his penetration is perhaps something that we could have benefited by, and he wanted to fiddle around with handball, and so he'll learn from that.
Well, there it is, John Todd, a few boos, and Ken, without throwing that one at Toddy, maybe...
Go inside, well, he's an experienced player, 195 games to his credit. Can he kick this one for the West?
Gee, they need it.
To the eastern end. Set it out. Oh, he hasn't brought him back enough. 1 point only.
Western Australia really haven't capitalised on their goal-scoring opportunities. They've kicked only 12 goals from 23 scoring shots, whereas South Australia had kicked 21 goals from 34 scoring shots. As Langsford puts the ball back up the side bottom, he'll get a chance to make amends. They're screaming at side bottom to kick the ball to Wilson as the side is gone three-quarter time. Side bottom with 25 metres out, 30 metres out has missed again. 12-12, 84 WA. South Australia 21-13, 139 in this our centennial year of football.
Oval, 21-13 South Australia, 12-12 Western Australia, and South Australia's last win in Perth was in 1979. Can they do it again today as McIntosh takes it away, gives it over to Bradley. He runs to the 50-metre line, as he done so on many occasions, boots a long one, but this time the ball has gone out of play on the full, and WA will certainly have to do something in those first 10 minutes to get back into this game.
Well, South Australia giving every indication that they are really going to humiliate WA as much as they can. Mitchell takes the ball off the half-back line. This is Wilson. Wilson from half-back towards half-forward. Cousins gets away from Whittlesey on this occasion. Hops it into the forward line, but great courage by Lindsay to take the mark. Look at the backup of Schneebichler. He's to the defensive 50-metre line. Strolling away from Watterson. A thumping kick towards half-forward. Knocked away by WA's Lamb. This is Fogarty. A little undecided what to do, John Fogarty. Now goes long. From behind, Scott, not paid. Schneebichler pushed that out. And Laurie Argent seeing fit not to pay that mark. Let's have a look at it.
There's one grab. There's a second. Generally they pay those, not this time.
Would have thought perhaps he could have been played it, but not to be. Cousins gets the tap down for South Australia. Side bottom, scrambles it further afield, but only as far as South Australia's Greg Whittlesey.
Been a good defender, Whittlesey. And there's a play all on his own again. Motley, Bradley, nice.
9th mark to Motley and 13th kick.
Done it very well. Kernahan thumped away this time. Oh!
No. Free kick to Kernahan.
Well, he's getting a few down there through playing in front. Quickly gets it on. Goes towards half forward. Plenty of players in this one. Richardson trying to come away. Hasn't done a great deal. Richardson today. Oh, he's holding the ball. And a good tackle put on him there by Keith Thomas. Thomas from 30 metres out directly in front. He has already kicked 2, Keith Thomas. Yes. Kicking to the eastern end of the ground.
Coming in for his 10th kick.
Played pretty well. 21 goals, 13. South Australia are now 21 goals, 14.
140 to 84. South Australia at the moment at the 2-minute mark of the final quarter. And this really has been a magnificent display by South Australia. And I think symptomatic of the way WA was going was that tackle put on Thomas by, or put on Richardson by Thomas. Richardson nowhere to go. Kick in, a chance for Richardson to atone. He's caught again, but will take a kick this time. Richardson off right half-back flank for WA. His twin brother playing football in Victoria. This is now Harding. Harding's kick not good, and the mark taken by Greg Anderson.
Been a good player, this fellow on the wing.
Very reliable. Big, tall, and a fast runner. Blight flies a little early. Rance in front, takes the mark. Murray Rance decides to go out towards left centre wing. Wilson is there. Wilson gets the hand pass inboard. This is Bairstow. Bairstow in short. Side bottom, good mark.
Good kick from the young fellow Bairstow too. He steadied and allowed side bottom to come in. Did it well.
Side bottom decides to go short to Bairstow, who followed his own kick down. And this has been, at least for Western Australia's point of view, a most auspicious state debut for the young man. 50 metres out, directly in front. Bairstow's kick is long, it's straight, and WA have got their 13.
And that's the 3rd goal to Mark Bairstow. He'll certainly remember the day he made his interstate debut after only 11 games. There's another angle to it. Made no mistake, the young fellow. Right through the middle. Well, they need another 10 of those WA. Can they do it? Back in the centre. Harding still on the ball against Cousins, Richard Cousins. Harding gets it down. This by Lampson. McIntosh threads his way through the pack. Gives it to Michael Ace. Ace kicks it long. It's a free kick. Yes, the free kick's been awarded. Apparently Ace was dealt with as he kicked the ball. Free kick relayed down, and of course they give it to Malcolm Blood, who's already kicked 5. From West Australia's point of view, it couldn't go to a worse player.
Yeah, Blood kicked 2 in the first quarter, 1 in the second, and 2 in the third.
40 metres out, the skipper. Right behind him as he goes towards a Perth end, splits the middle. There's his 6th.
Well, it really has been a most disciplined display by South Australia. There have been good sides come to Western Australia before from South Australia, and they really haven't performed at all well. But this side is fast. It has a happy combination of youth and experience. It's got an excellent goal-to-goal line. and they really have carried all before them. 22-14, 146 to 13, 12, 90. Harding with the tap. Out comes Warhurst for South Australia.
Their ball handling today by WA has not been good right from the very first bounce. They seem to be lacking confidence.
Yes, it's been quite inept, hasn't it? Harding with that tap. Straight to Bradley as if he was trying to pick him out. Off they go now through Nailey. Nailey a long kick. Light has the ball knocked away from him. Two Western Australians go to ground. And Platten was lurking ominously there, waiting for the ball to be fed out to him, but it didn't come. Rance tries to get the tap away. Platten fires the hand pass out to Bradley. Bradley goes inboard. Browning over the top. Thomas left it behind. Swooped on by Platten. Platten, as easy as you like, has put it straight through the middle.
Well, the McGarry middle is certainly showing today how he won it. A brilliant passage of play there. Kick three, waited on the crumbs. He knows where to go. He just burst through that pack. Platten and put it right through the middle. Well, South Australia taking everything before them at the moment. 23 goals, 14. Western Australia 13-12, and I'd say a very pleased coach, Neil Baum, at the moment. He's won the last premiership in South Australia. And he played with Subiaco here in 4 games early in his career. Up it goes to the half forward, Mitchell. Never had many good players, but this guy's been one of them. He's got plenty of pace. Gets it back up from Caton. Caton goes long. Fogarty's there, but he's surrounded by a couple of players into the pocket of side bottom. Screws it around onto that left foot. No luck. 1 point only.
The side bottom normally looks for players running down the ground to feed the ball to, but obviously he hasn't got confidence that that's going to happen because he's starting to have shots at goal from impossible angles. As over the top came Fogarty with a beauty. Fogarty went to centre the ball to lengths, but the kick was a shocker, and Nailey able to come in and take a mark. Nailey fires the hand pass off. That looked like Bradley. In front, taking it is Greg Anderson.
One right across the centre, South Australia.
Have they what? Anderson with the left foot. Plenty of players available, and that was Bradley, who had kicked the ball to him, run about 30 or 40 metres to receive it. That's how South Australia are playing. Whittlesey now to the 25-metre line. A chance for Platten. Look at him, wait. Light goes down, hooks the ball back to the right foot, but unfortunately for him, one of his own teammates was in his road and he just couldn't get it back enough.
Malcolm Blight certainly playing havoc in that forward line. Had a lot of kicks, Peter.
17 kicks from full forward.
Well, 17 kicks from full forward, I'd say, speaks for itself. Langsford trying to rally his side. Kicks to the half-back flank. Close to the line out there. Platten still battling as he's been doing it all day. Oh, McIntosh takes that. Eyes on. He's tough, Nailey. Back to McIntosh. He's over the 50-metre line. Goes inboard to Platten again, who fires, has missed this time.
Gee, that passage of play thoroughly deserved a goal. It really did. McIntosh got a couple of fairly heavy whacks around the head that would have stopped anybody else.
He doesn't stop at all, does he?
He didn't even break stride, I might tell you. Could have shot the goal himself because he was on his correct kicking foot, but unselfishly gave it to John Platten, who just missed. Kick in by Rance is just marked by Kevin Caton. Caton off the right half-back flank. Into the centre he goes. Good use of the body that time by Wilson. Sees him with the mark. Wilson fires it out to the back up of Fogarty.
15 metres.
And I think that Fogarty dropped that as much as what Peter Motley knocked it out of his hands. So the umpire indicating that Motley should stand on the 50-metre line, and now he's come forward a couple. Fogarty, 55 metres out. Starts the ball off right it stays, with the mark taken by Stavicla in the last line of defence.
Been a good, strong player back there too. Well, they've had good players all over the ground.
Schnabikla bringing it out to the 50-metre line. Motley can't mark, scrambling on the ground. Caton to Harding. They call the play on because it's not 15 metres. The kick was there to Motley. The umpire has paid the advantage and Thomas brings it out of defence.
Boots a long one into the square, looking for Kernahan. This will be a kick to Browning. Plays on quickly. WA making hard work of it to Mitchell, left centre wing. Plenty of time, Michael. Mitchell comes inboard for Renstead. Renstead's in the square on the offensive side. Fogarty playing in the forward line in this quarter, and that's about his third mark.
Well, he's out in front of Motley, isn't he? But Motley's done such a superb job that he's had a look at the scoreboard probably and said, oh, you know, hang on.
55 metres out, and there's the lead in. Sidebottom in front. Grabs the mark. Gary Sidebottom started off well. Hasn't had the best of days since. He's kicked one. 20 metres out. He's kicked another one.
Well, it's all academic at the moment as far as WA are concerned. We are 11 minutes into the final quarter. Rohan Hellier has just come on for South Australia as an interchange. Sidebottom taking the strong mark and bringing up Western Australia's 14th goal. He was out in front of Peter Bubner on that occasion. 97 to 154. 11 and a bit minute marks. 11 and a bit minutes into the final quarter. It'll be Redden and Harding.
He's rucked well, Redden.
Oh, hasn't he? And again, but Richardson is there. Can't do anything with the ball, though. Swooped on by Bradley, who's far too fast for any opponent that's been near him. Bradley into the forward line. Cousins nearly a one-hander. Blight out in front. Bradmore with a ball in possession and lucky not to be penalised.
Yes, I think he was. He held on to it a long time.
So it's just outside South Australia's 25-metre line. And they've got all their guns down there. Cousins with a back tap. Platten lurking. Richardson to Bradmore for WA. Bradmore scrambles to kick a little bit further away from the goal. Great play that time by, it looked like Spickler, but I think it was Lindsay. Here goes McIntosh to Platten. Platten to Bradley. Bradley just chips it in as calm as you like to Stephen Kernahan, who's just outside 25 metres. Well, he's kicked 4 goals as Steve Kernahan and had a number of kicks and marks.
That's his 11th mark, and he's coming up for kick number 12. He's had 7 effective hand passes.
Not bad. Kernahan, 30 metres out, directly in front. South Australia have got number 24.
Stephen Kernahan, as we said many times, certainly dominated that position. And his 10-goal last year in South Australia.
Kernahan received that ball from Bradley, who's had 7 kicks for the quarter and 20 for the game.
And Bradley seems to be roving all over the ground. Has had 2 or 3 others, Motley and a few others. Certainly playing havoc. 24-16 to 14-13, the 30-minute mark of the final quarter.
And that kick from Kernahan, you can see that absolutely has split the centre, and South Australia doing it well.
Well, can Western Australia come back and salvage something out of it? Motley. Father was also a good player for South Australia. Langsford. Bucket comes out to the flank. Waterson. Started off well, also faded. Looking for Sidebottom. Sidebottom. Well, he's using the big belt to get in front.
Maybe in retrospect, that's what they should have been doing to Sidey, putting it up high so he could use his bulk as opposed to Bubner's speed.
Yes, he can do it pretty well. He's only 35 metres out, directly in front. Should kick this one and goes.
So Sidebottom has scored 2 goals for this quarter. And we'll have a look at that mark of Sidebottom's and his ability to use his bulk. There's the kick. And a good contest between these two, but Bubner has certainly been a most effective backman for South Australia. (160 to 103). 57 points in front. Again, it'll be Harding and Redden. Oh, it'll be Scott and Redden. South Australia emerged through Motley. Puts it into the open space, favouring Campbell. This is Campbell, number 25. He hooks it right into the edge of the square. They all set, knocked away from Cousins. Eludes everybody. Kernahan makes a rare mistake. Has plenty of time to recover. And that's a beautiful play by South Australia to Platten. Platten comes inboard. They all overrun the ball. Out comes Dwayne Lamb. Lamb kicks to the wing. Knocked away in defence by Lindsay, which is good play. Bumped on to South Australia, it looked by Warhurst. Here comes Mitchell for WA. Hand pass was nowhere. McIntosh just pushes Bairstow away. Gets the hand pass to Kernahan. Kernahan to Motley. Motley with the left foot. And finds touch cleverly.
Well, the scores are wide apart, but South Australia are playing great football. I don't know whether West Australia's crowd appreciating it. They're certainly going well. They lead 24-16 to 15-13, and we're over the 15-minute mark in the final quarter. WA trying to do something. Mitchell. Richardson went to sleep. Motley's with him. Oh, and Motley comes out with it yet again. Doesn't kick it well this time. It's taken by Browning. He goes to centre half back. Wasn't a good kick. A chance for Langsford.
Stood back.
Warhurst is there. Wilson boots it back. They're kicking anywhere. Whittlesey. A little bit of luck there. Goes to Bairstow. He's looking for side bottom again. Can't find him this time. Cousins, Brian Cousins, 50 metres out. Boots it into an open goal. Lindsay's underneath it and takes a mark.
Good defensive play by Lindsay. He really only got a momentary sight of that. Had to run with the flight of the ball and took a good mark and has been a very effective defender. Here goes South Australia again. Number 7 for them is Keith Thomas. He's also been a good footballer. And so too is this man, Craig Bradley. Superb.
Brilliant.
Absolutely superb today. Could hardly fault him.
Had over 25 possessions.
He's a good cricketer also, so he's a good all-around athlete.
160 to 103 as Bradley puts him into attack again up towards right half forward, and the mark to Rance behind. A good one. But they unfortunately have been too few and far between. Murray Rance off the left half back flank. Goes in towards the centre of the ground. Knocked away in defence by Redden. Here goes South Australia again. The hand pass to McIntosh. Cousins has nobody within 20 metres of him and can mark easily. Rick Cousins from 55 metres out. A bomb, an absolute bomb into the forward line, which has gone through for the 25th goal.
Well, Richard Cousins, that's his third, and that was at least 60 metres out. A young player, tall player too, playing in his first state game. He's done pretty well.
Once again, McIntosh involved in that play, and even though he spent a lot of time on the bench, he has had 6 effective hand passes for this quarter and 13 for the game.
Well, Macca going pretty well, 25-16 to 15-13. There he is, Richard Cousins. Back in the centre, Scott trying to do battle, but the South Australian rucks are too good. Fogarty having a run on the ball, got no backup. South Australia got 2 or 3. One of them is Naily. He goes into centre half forward. This one's gone astray, and it goes to Don Langsford.
Langsford, in his first year as WA captain, would be very disappointed with the team's performance as it kicks towards left wing. Wilson is the only one there. Wilson hooks it back cleverly. 32 is Brian Cousins. Cousins unloads a big one into the forward line. There's no backup. Ball taken by McDermott. Mitchell battling at the bottom of the pack. Gets the hand pass away to Harding. Harding can see a lead. Knocked away, however, from Bairstow. Naily with him. Oh, Naily does it just so superbly. Brilliant stuff. Payton does well to chop Thomas off. Payton in towards the 25-metre line. Richardson kicked the way he was running.
Unfortunately, Steve Richardson has not had a good day. Cannot do a thing right, and this happens sometimes in your first interstate game. Trying hard, but things not coming off. From good play by Payton to get that ball up to the forward area. WA well beaten. They're still trying. 25-16 to 15-14. Yeah, 10 straight goals in a short amount of time will do it for WA. There's Bubner. They've been a good player for South Australia all day. And as the light fades, so does WA's hopes. Kevin Caton.
Interrupting you, Bob. It looks like Craig Bradley coming off the ground for South Australia, and he can be so well satisfied and proud with his contribution.
Yes, a great game as Kevin Caton kicks towards full forward, chance for side bottom, and through. Applauded from the crowd for great game from that fellow.
And Andy Jarman is the player who is on to replace him, number 13.
There's
South
a very
Australia.
pleased coach, I would say, Neil Barr.
And he'd have every right to be. Bubner going to bring the ball into play for South Australia. Has not faltered with his kicking today. That
was a shepherd.
Yeah, got to be interference, that one.
Before the ball was there.
Yep, within 5 metres. Watterson about 70 metres out. Puts a big one right to the edge of the square. Side bottom underneath it. Knocked away in defence by Schnabikla. Taken by Hellier. Opportunity for South Australia through McDermott. He gets it away. The hand pass is on again now. This is Warhurst. Warhurst back to Campbell, who gave him the ball. Campbell now up towards half forward. Motley from behind. Kernahan stays on his feet. Hand pass went astray, but Brad Moore from Western Australia unable to capitalise.
Well, this is the difference between the two sides. As soon as it comes to the ground, South Australia got 2 or 3 players to go in and get it. WA have not got a soul.
Dwayne Lamb with the left foot from the tap to Wilson, who's taken a beauty, albeit too late. Wilson rifles a pass in towards half forward, left behind by Watterson. This enables Hellier to pick it up. South Australia work the ball up to Motley, who's played all over the place. Motley to Platt. Platt left foot kick the full forwards just offline.
Well, John Platten hasn't made many mistakes today, but on his left foot then, running flat out, put it through for the minor score. 25-17 to 15-15, coming up to the 21.5-minute mark. John Fogarty gets out of it. Runs to the half-back line, looking for a lead. There isn't too many. There's one, picked up by Lindsay. To Jarman. Andrew Jarman, plenty of time to boot it down towards Kernahan in front. No trouble at all. A little bit of acting there, I think. Stephen Kernahan's all right. He's on the 50-metre mark.
Might have got a bit of a quilt.
Just a little one, I think, John, but he's playing that well. It doesn't matter at the moment. 55 metres out, Steve Kernahan. He has kicked 5 in a brilliant performance. He has kicked 6. Yes.
Yeah. When will it all stop? It's the first performance by Kernahan. 1 in the first quarter, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and now 2 in this last quarter. And South Australia at 26-17, 173 to WA's 15-15, 105, 22.5 minutes into the final quarter. It will be Redden versus Harding. Bounce favours Redden, but Harding over the top. Tap to the wrong man. That's Matthew Campbell. Great smother by Campbell as Harding tried ineffectively to kick the ball off the ground. Desperate defence by South Australia. Sees Hellier emerge with it. He got rid of it. Pushed on by McDermott. Bairstow is caught. I thought he made a reasonable attempt to get rid of that, quite frankly.
Holding the ball. Half back line.
And it looks like it will be Whittlesey to take the kick. No, it's not. It was McDermott. Gave the hand pass off to Campbell. Campbell up towards Platten, who's kept it in play, and he's going just as hard at this stage as what he was when the game was 2 minutes old. Spoilt by Redden. Number 20 for South Australia is Mark Nailey. Again off to Campbell. Campbell puts the ball into the forward line. Blight going for it. Can't get there in time to stop it going out of bounds.
He's a great all-around athlete. Matthew Campbell can play on the half-forward line, the half-back line, and he can kick the ball out of sight. And he played a great game today also. Time ticking away. The 24-minute mark coming up, 26-17 to 15-15 in favour of South Australia. The biggest margin, I would say, here for a very, very long time, if ever before. Rance in trouble. Rick Cousins. Into the pocket it goes again. Oh, hit the post. Great snap there.
Good shot by Platten.
Platten's in everything, isn't he?
Yeah, he reverse kicked that one, Bob, and was unlucky not to score a goal.
Time ticking away, coming up to the time on period. John Fogarty a little bit undecided. He'd better hurry up. His time is against WA if they want to score a couple more and bring it respectable. Blight comes right out to the half-forward flank. Watterson gets it in towards Mitchell. Jarman's in there too. Nailey gives it over to McDermott, who has a long kick. And McDermott has joined the goal kickers.
So that's South Australia's 27th goal. McDermott has scored a goal, which means they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
11.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11 goal scorers, South Australia, in an overwhelming display of team football. No champions, as Graham Corn said in an interview last night, just a real team of goers. Boy, have they gone today. 27-18, 180 to 15-15, 105, and we are just into the time-on period. Harding down to Mitchell, who slips at the crucial time. Wilson diving in for the ball. On top of him is McDermott. McDermott with plenty of fire in his belly still. Harding gets the tap and some interference and 15 metres because Platten kicked it away.
John Todd.
Obviously wouldn't be too happy, suffering. I guess what, if memory serves me correctly, is going to be just about his first defeat in interstate football.
Yes, it could be. Done pretty well over the last few years, John.
Must be close. It's Harding with the right foot to the 25-metre line. Redden got hand to that. It's running free. This is Renstead going for it for WA. Rides a bump, leaves the ball behind. Here comes South Australia. The hand pass from McDermott to Platten. Platten into the centre of the ground. Now to the 50-metre line. Two Western Australians get mixed up together. But they're going to be able to clear okay from Bradmore, who gives it to Watterson. Watterson, long hand pass to Cousins. Cousins from 60 metres out. Mitchell waiting behind. One hand to play, and it has been. Brilliant mark taken for WA by Phil Scott.
Well, Phil Scott, a valiant attempt. There he is. Battling there with his marksman. Well, it didn't pay some of the others, but he paid that one.
Yeah, don't know whether I'd have paid that, quite frankly. But he has, and he'll kick from 20 metres out directly in front. Puts it through. WA have got number 16.
First goal to Phil Scott, playing his first game of state football. Trying hard, but like a lot of other WA players out there, have been outclassed by a great South Australian side. Probably one of the best sides we've seen over here for some time. They've taken everything before them. 27-18 to 16-15. 28-minute mark coming up in the final quarter. There it is, 180 to 111. And the centenary celebrations certainly dampened here in Western Australia by this defeat, unfortunately.
Sweet revenge for South Australia, though, Bob, because it's all pretty flat over there after WA did the same to them.
Redden gets it down. There's a long kick there from McDermott. He kicked the last one. Chance for Blight. Wilkinson. Langsford. Back it goes again to McDermott. He's going to have another shot. And he's put it through again. No trouble at all.
28 goals for South Australia. I guess at the 28-minute mark of this last quarter, the interest is whether the visitors can reach 30 goals, which will really complete the humiliation that Western Australia are suffering at their hands today. McDermott with a couple of goals in this last quarter. 28-18, 186 to 16-15, 111. Redden still with plenty of leap to him. Off they go again. McDermott once more. McIntosh underneath that. Knocked away by Bradmore. Race on between the two of them. Bradmore and McIntosh. McIntosh gets his body in front. Does so well to Shepherd. The hand pass out to Campbell. Now it comes inboard to Platten. Platten to Mark Nailey. Nailey around a couple. He in turn a hand pass to Kernahan. Kernahan from point-blank range has put it through for number 29.
And his own personal sixth goal, and John Todd just looking on there saying, what can I do? Very little, I would say, at this stage, because there's not many good players out there that have played the whole four quarters for Western Australia. 29 goals on the board. 29-18 to 16-15. As this match draws to a close, because we're coming up to the 30-minute mark. Redden still getting the ball out of the centre. Warhurst, but the kick's gone the other way, will go to Scott.
Interesting statistics from Kernahan's goals. He's got one in the first, one in the second, two in the third, and three so far in the final quarter.
Well, been a lot of good players out there today. We'll find out who's got the most possession shortly as Scott kicks a long one up towards half forward. From the back. It's good by Redden there. Couldn't get it. Jarman, plenty of time to come around. Boots it back towards the centre. And it's a good bark to Campbell.
Matthew Campbell between half-back and wing. Just pops it up nice and kindly for Rohan Hellier. Hellier forward of the wing. Lovely long kick to half forward. Motley in front. Mark broke away from two Western Australian defenders. A long hand pass to Cousins, who says thank you kindly. Number 30 to South Australia, and that will give them a great deal of delight.
Well, there it is. A very jubilant South Australian bench and 4 goals to this fellow.
Look at Motley, took the mark, walked away from 2 of them. Look at the hand pass, a beauty. Straight to Cousins, and Wilkinson arriving on the scene far too late.
And Motley played a great game all day. Over the 30-minute mark because South Australia keep kicking goals. 30 goals, 18 to 16, 15. A great win to the South Aussies. Take nothing away from them. They've played brilliantly right from the first bounce for the side that's missing about 3 or 4 good players through injury. Still the other players have played just as well and covered them. Scott trying to get the ball away. Redden still in there rucking as well as ever. Still in the centre square. Bairstow gets it out to Ringstead. He's tried hard. Hasn't had a great deal of backup. Hayton took a ton of time. Gets it out the side to Waterson, who has kicked it out of play.
Well, it really is quite embarrassing, I guess, as far as Western Australia is concerned. They're running into an open goal and can't score anything at all. So Schnabikla now to out of the left full-back pocket as darkness descends on Subiaco Oval.
Certainly does.
And you can think in more ways than one. There's the siren. Mercifully, I would suggest, for Western Australia. A superb effort by South Australia. 30 goals, 18, 198 to Western Australia's 16, 15, 111.
So the scoreboard tells the story, and a sad tale as far as WA is concerned, but magnificent win to South Australia, and they thoroughly deserved it, as you've just seen. 7-4 to 3-5 in the first quarter. At half-time, a big break of 36 points. In the third term, well, the first half of it was WA's best passage of football, really, because they got to within 2 or 3 goals of South Australia. But the effort took its toll, and the Crow Eaters bounced away the latter half of the third quarter. And again, final quarter, well, it was a procession. 30-18, 198 to Western Australia, 16-15, 111. The best players for South Australia, Bradley, Kernahan, Platten, and 18 others. And for West Australia, Michael Mitchell, outstanding, and some of the others that were weighed in with good games for WA, Bairstow and Harding. The leading goal kickers, magnificent performance from Kernahan at centre half forward, Stephen Kernahan with 7. Malcolm Blight, the age of 35, booted 6. Cousins 4 and Platten 3. And for Western Australia, 3 each to Sidebottom, Waterson and Bairstow. Again, congratulations to South Australia. There always has to be a winner and a loser. John Todd was the losing coach. We'll be back in a moment to have a talk to him.